Alright, so Classic World is over, the beta is officially over, but that does not mean ChronoStory is not cooking. So shortly after the beta was, I guess wrapped up, not really shortly after, Boutei, the creator and developer of ChronoStory, actually dropped 3 teasers for the Warrior branch pertaining to fourth job. So let's go ahead and take a look. I did take a look at this when I was on my trip. We are now back finally. Um, but I will say, oh my god, he's actually cooking, man. Let him cook, let him cook. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into these teasers because I'm pretty sure like this will be my second time officially revisiting this. But from first impressions, they seem pretty good. So let's go through these 3 jobs, starting with the hero. Okay, so this is important. So, if you guys been lurking around the Discord, Booty actually hinted like he's gonna change Maple Warrior. So apparently, it doesn't matter if you go, if you have low secondary stat or you're, for example, if you're a warrior, if you're dexless or not, because it's only gonna assume that you pumped full strength points based on your level. So that's pretty cool, I guess. I'm not too sure if I got it correctly, but that is a thing. But let's see, 124 strength. I'm pretty sure y'all can pause and do the math here, but it should add up, right? 14 dex bonus. Yeah, It's pretty cool how it only applies in the damage calc and not your actual stats. So you can't use or cheese the gear through laddering methods using Maple Warrior. The damage. Okay, so this is basically Achilles, right? This is Achilles equivalent of back then. It gives mastery as well. Okay, it's pretty interesting. HP, percent damage reduction. Again, that damage reduction part is from Achilles. Okay, so mastery and HP bonus. Okay, not bad. Rush targets up to 15 mobs. Damn, okay. 5 weapon attack per orb. Okay, hold on. Oh, I guess it wasn't like before. I was expecting to be like 300% weapon attack, which is pretty insane. Because currently, right now, it's like plus 100. So I believe quick math. This is 125% total weapon attack for fully stacked combo attack orbs. Okay, it's not as insane as I thought. I thought it's gonna be like another like 100% bonus. That would be too cracked. But okay, 20% proc chance. Okay. Stance is a party buff. I guess that's kind of cool, but the problem is if you make this as a party buff, it's just gonna reinforce buff story or mule story. But I guess at that point, the game already is kind of buff story. But damn, not bad. Power stance per usual. Now this is what like playing from the classic road beta. If you guys have tuned in for that, I love the clank mechanic, the block mechanic. So this feels like it's a passive. It is a passive, right? Cooldown 2 seconds. That'd be pretty cool if Booty can import the clank noise from MapleStory Classic World. I love that. It's so addicting to trigger, but damn, because currently our hero is 2-hand. Oh man, maybe I might transition to a 1-hand if the clank noise is in the game. Cool block chance. Brandish is still the same. I had to read this twice, but basically combo and panic is free if you have this on, this buff on. And I believe you can stack your combo orbs even though you use it. So you can fully stack your orbs, press and rage, and then stack your orbs again. Holy crap. You have free coma and panic. I'm pretty sure Brandish will negate panic, right? But coma is a different story. So coma will basically be a stronger shout. Which is good for us because later on, we're going to be at Gobies on the hero. So, down the line, that'd be pretty sick. And here's Will, it's pretty much the same. And I believe Boutei said that the numbers are overtuned, but yeah, the numbers are definitely overtuned, but I will say, holy crap, this is us in the future, guys. This is me soon. And but going from the fluidity of Classic World to ChronoStory, oh my god. I have not hit anything in the game yet, but I'm pretty sure it won't be the same. But again, that's the general limitation of playing any game on MapleStory Worlds. And then there's Monster Magnet. Now, I believe Monster Magnet should have a slight cooldown that's reduced by the mobs you kill as it's on cooldown. So it can't just like be a old school hacker just sucking up all the mobs indefinitely. That'd be pretty sick. Kind of busted too. Other than that, that's pretty much just the hero gameplay. He just goes... Boutei just does like a short like rotation for the next minute or so. Alright, let's move on to the Paladin. Oh my god. The Paladin, bro. I just, like, after these 4th job, like, teasers, I really wish we had more character slots. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Hopefully, in the future, too, the following weeks, we'll get, like, mages, especially pirates. Who cares about the thief 4th job teaser, honestly? But I'm looking forward to, especially the pirate. Alright, let's take a look at the Paladin. So pretty much the same. Masteries, Maple Warrior, Body Mastery, Rush Blast, Monster Magnet. But here we go, the Blast. 2,500 damage, holy crap. I believe all skills can trigger Fatal Strike, so it's pretty cool how each skill can trigger Fatal Strike. I would assume this applies to all 4th job branches. Because again, Fatal Strike boosts your range, and it gives you bonus damage too. I believe this is only specifically to heroes. Heroes have, I believe, an 80% chance to proc the Fatal Strike. I believe. Every other hero has 60% at base. Alright, Heaven's Hammer. I believe it's been nerfed, right? Like, typically, it can hit up to, like, what? 15 mobs or something like that? Similar to the old FMAs back in the day. So, based off of this, I'm assuming the Mage FMAs will only mob 10 with the cooldown. This doesn't seem to have a cooldown, but we'll see how the damage is. I kind of forgot. Holy Charge. Still there? Now, this is the new skill. All Night Charge. You're the freaking avatar. Fire, Ice, Lightning, Holy. There's no Earth, but it is what it is. So you apply Burn, Freeze, Lightning Attack Speed, and Holy... Damn, holy crap. White Knights are eating good. I think among all the 4th job branches, I think Paladin got the best, 4th job. I know Dark Knights, Boutei added Dark Impale, which honestly I'm a fan of. Because, like, it's just bad game mechanic where, like, each job that you advance to, you don't get a new skill. Like, if you look at every other job or class in the game, you always get a new attacking skill per job advancement. So the fact that heroes have to use their 1st job attack until 4th job is pretty ass. So Dark Knights especially, like, if you don't have Dark Impale, like, you're just using, I guess, your 3rd job dragon skills indefinitely. So yeah, I don't know about that. For me personally, I think it's just bad game design to not have a new attacking skill every job advancement. But okay, let's move on. Okay, that's definitely the new Heaven's Hammer animation. This reminds me of the Angelic Buster animation, right? I believe they have like a hammer skill, but this has been redesigned to fit the Paladin theme. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Angelic Buster skill from from somewhere. It's pretty funny. Okay, look at that blast damage, single target. Yeah, Rush seems to be moving a lot faster. And then there's Heaven's Hammer. Yeah, Heaven's Hammer feels kinda too weak. Compared to Hero's Brandish, holy crap, he's been hitting like 200 Ks. Yeah, there's a freeze, fire, burn, damn. But that's pretty much it. Just, just him cycling around on the Paladin. Okay, not bad though. I like the All Night charge. Freaking rename your character to the Avatar, man. Avatar Roshi or something, like Roku. Forgot his name. Okay, let's move on to the Dark Knight though. So again, we have the passives. Wait, Hyper Body Plus. Okay, even more. Yeah, so basically it's gonna be buff story all over again. Ideally, you get your classes, your mules to 127, or whatever that threshold is to max the new, like, masteries for your buffs. Oh my god, man. Like, this is why in GMS, Nexon introduced a decent advanced skills in 5th job, and because that essentially eliminated all the buff mules, the buff mule mechanic. As much as people hate, GMS, apparently, like, at least for that interaction, decent skills were in the game for this reason. If you take a step back and look at it. Because me, man, I'm done with buff story, man, mule story. Damage attack speed. Okay, so he did go through the attack speed change. Damn, that's pretty sick. It also gives some damage, but not too much. I think the damage attack speed ratio is pretty good. Although I'm not really too sure what the defenses are. I guess it's a pretty good bonus. But yeah, we'll see. And again, Death's Door. This is from GMS, man. Because GMS, when you die as a Dark Knight, I believe you have like 2 modes, right? You can pick and choose which one. One has a shorter duration, but shorter cooldown. The other one has a longer duration, but longer cooldown. But this is basically a revive and like a god mode for 10 seconds. The cooldown is, what is that, 5 minutes? Ooh, I don't know about that. In bossing, that's basically a free iframe every 5 minutes. Pretty interesting, though. Pretty interesting. Yeah, and I'm not too sure about this. I think the cooldown needs to be extended, but we'll see how the bosses go. Maybe like you can have like a high cooldown, but the cooldown is decreased every time you attack something. 'Cause I believe that's how it works, right? Oh no. It's like you would be put onto the iframe in GMS, but if you don't kill like a certain amount of mobs or hit the boss a certain amount of times, you just die. Although I'm not too sure how the deaths would work in the bosses anyway, but I don't think the 5-minute cooldown is too healthy. Especially like if Booty reworks the bosses to have like intense mechanics. I'm assuming that there will be some mechanics. Like you're basically skipping mechanics for 10 seconds every 5 minutes. I'm not too sure how long the boss fights will be or how strong they are, but I think the cooldown needs to be adjusted, definitely. Alright. Again, this is like post Big Bang, right? The dark and pale. Again, I'm a fan of this because like a new tagging skill for DKs. I think there's a poll going on in Discord where it's like you either choose a revamped like Dragon Fury or Thruster or whatever it's called in 3rd job or Dark and Pale. Honestly, I'm a fan of Dark and Pale. Like if I had more character slots, I would make a DK just for this skill. This is so iconic, man. Because I remember back in the day, at least people in my guild, people were like, "Oh my god!" They saw the teaser for Dark and Pale, and every DK main was going crazy. Like chat was flooded. Even this megas in game, it was so insane. But hopefully this stays, because I'm a fan of, like, again, having a new skill every job advancement, because again, like every other class in the game, they get some new attacking skill, and then your ass on the DK is just using thruster or fury until end game. Hey yo, where's the wreck at? I'm talking to you, bro. Okay, this is the beholder buffs. Damn, so Berserk plus Beholder gives you 50% damage. Plus 25 accuracy? Damn! Alright, this definitely will solve it, well, at least for DKs, it'll solve the accuracy issue a little bit. Because I know that the Dark Hornians is gonna be like, you need like 166. No, no, this is just a teaser. Look at this Dark and Pale. Oh my god, look at that. The animation is so... I love that animation. It's so fitting for a Dark Knight. I believe Sacrifice is a passive, where it boosts your IED. Bro, look at that, man. You're telling me, like, between Fury or Thruster and Dark and Pale, like, you wanna, like, a reskinned purple version of Thruster? Or Fury? Like, come on, man. Dark and Pale is obviously the better skill. Because think about it. Third job, you're named Dragon Knight. Fourth job, Dark Knight. And yet you're still using a dragon skill. Come on, man. I definitely do agree the range needs to be adjusted a little bit because, like, Brandish is so close. I think Charge Blow for Pallies are really close, but I guess that's why, like, I think there should be a little bit more range for Dark and Pale because you're a spear. Like, you should have some range, right? Compared to a sword and a spear or polearm, like, definitely one has more reach, right? But I think in this case, the range needs to be adjusted just a little bit. Maybe like 15 to 25% less horizontal range. I think that would be okay. Because I believe in total, deals like 1k skill damage, right? That's pretty insane. Other than that, that's pretty much just grinding. Although I'm not really too sure what the other option is, like how would the revamped like dragon skills and third job would be, but other than that, it seems pretty sick to me. I'm a big fan of that. Yeah, those were all the skills, so but for the rest of the day, I think we'll be at Gobies for a little bit, maybe like 2 hours or something. But there's also something that we have to do, and it's pertaining to the Easter event eggs. So apparently, if someone in the channel claimed like the cosmetics, no one else in that channel was able to claim it. And so we got 50 eggs for compensation. I'm pretty sure, based on the amount of time we spent at Gobies on the ice lining, we should have been able to get at least one of the cosmetic items, or maybe even the medal, right? But okay, let's open up these suckers and see what we get. I think the map is like, you need like 150 eggs. So we'll see, man. Alright, though, you have to go to NPC. Berserk for buffs, I mean, we'll have to wait and see, I mean. You have to go through the feedback. Well, I filled out the form. It's kind of useless because, like, there wasn't a section where, like, you could input, like, whatever else towards the... until, you know, you got to the end. But even at the ending part, like, I was filling out the form during my trip, so I didn't have access to my doc. But technically, I could have copy and pasted, but I wasn't even done. It's like, whatever. I guess I'll post it in the feedback section after all, but we'll see. Okay, so we have 2.29 for the Easter charm, and I guess it's just only the Easter charm. Alright, give me more buffs, man. Yeah, 50 eggs, here we go. Bro, all that? 2 buffs? Oh my god. Oh man, I demand some compensation, bro. We should be... Like, we should have gotten at least one of the medals or a cosmetic item by then. Ain't no way, man. But, yeah, we're gonna be at Gobies. We're gonna do the same thing at Gobies on the warrior, although our clearing speed would be slightly less, but not too bad. We'll put some EXP on this guy, because, like, this guy... I thought this guy was in the 140s, to be honest, but... This guy is definitely behind. Because my other 2 characters are at 150, and... I think, honestly, I'm gonna park at 150. But I wanted to log on to Hero today because, one, it's been such a long time since we visited the Hero, you know? I mean, the levels definitely show 134 versus 2 150s. And then even my signing will definitely gap my bucks soon. I'm not too sure what the order is for these teasers are, but I really want to look... I'm looking forward to the Paladin. No, not Paladin, the Buccaneer one. I guess secondary would be ice linings, chain lining. Let's see how that is. I'm just really concerned about the tether range. Because if it's not like too generous, it's gonna suck, and not to mention the bounce damage. Pretty good, Vero. We almost gained 1%. Oh right, we should probably pop the baby chick buff. So earlier, I logged into the game, I checked my storage, I'm like, oh look, max Mesos. We have that 2147483 still there, but I'm not gonna touch that. And then we have like 700 mil in the ice lining. But yeah, until we get to like the actual 4th job, I mean, I'll be looking at these teasers. Hopefully we get some in the upcoming weeks. Like, after playing Classic World, like, man, like, even though Classic World has its... has a lot of glaring issues, I will say that, you know, just seeing so many people on the same channel, you would wander around the maps and you'll see a lot of people there. Such a good feeling, you know, that community aspect. Like, if we had that for MapleStory Worlds, man, like, damn, it would be a game changer. It would be a completely different game. No, there hasn't been anything about bosses. Nothing yet. But we can expect some more teasers for other 4th job classes. I'm hoping Pirates next. Although I'm not really too sure what the order is. If anything, I'd probably say mages are next, because I think that's like... Everyone's curious about the FMAs. But seeing how Heaven's Hammer it only hits for 10, I'm assuming the FMAs too will hit for 10. With some short cooldown. We'll see. I guess another direction you could do is like... No cooldown, but the skill itself just doesn't do that much damage, so like you have to keep spamming it to clear waves. And honestly, at that point, is it even worth just holding that FMA? Maybe not. Damn, that was the easiest 3%. You know, low effort? Alright, we're +1. I try to get this guy to 150 as well, so all my characters are evenly matched. But I like simple farming, you know. I'm actually going to spend more time, a little bit more time on GMS compared to ChronoStory, at least until 4th job is released. Because I do want to take advantage of this perma double sword you know, shorten runes. They want to make some progress on GMS. I think I'm 34% more from 291, because the 295 area has been confirmed. So like, oh damn. Yo, Cook, thanks for the sub. So yeah, we're getting there, but at the same time, like, I want to prep for a 4th job. Oh my god, man. The warrior stuff, man. Holy! It's so funny too. It's like the Classic World beta just ended, and that boom, Booty swipes in. Oh, like, oh, y'all don't have anything else to play. Well, how about ChronoStory? Here's what's to come. That's brilliant. But I definitely gotta retweak some numbers. But based on that damage, yeah. Heroes, again, are doing way too much, but that's just the class. I'm hoping to, like, there will be, like, some, like, shield mechanics. I was talking about this in Classic World, but, like, you know, pages or pallies, like, if you do block or guard hits from enemies, like, maybe do, like, a little healing or, like, a stun. You know what I mean? I think currently there's no, like, difference between a sword and a blunt weapon, right, for pallies? Maybe there could be, like, a niche thing for both as well. Equips? Equips aren't really... Only our swords a bit and shoes are pretty crazy, but... This is my hat. My cape. My gloves I scrolled off on the whim, and apparently it hits 330s in a row. I'm like, okay. Not bad. This is my top. I'm trying to, like, I'm experimenting with the overalls, but getting overalls are pretty rare. Because I think overalls, you need to have, like, at least, like a plus 30 overall clean. This is my top. This is my bottom. Then we have the 2 pianist rings that we rerolled. These are my Dex earrings. But seeing how Maple Warrior has definitely been changed to where, like, you don't need the lowest secondary stat or highest main stat, it doesn't really matter at this point. Like, you just scroll for Dex or Strength, whatever is more convenient. This is my sword. And this is my mule, by the way. This guy has better gear than my buck at this point. My sword, although I wish I had more accuracy. And our shoe went 4 out of 5 30s. Last slot with the 60. Man, this is my mule too. Again, mules never struggle, yup. It is what it is though. But until, you know, like, until we get better gear, I've just been saving up. Like, before Classic Worlds was released, I've just been saving up. So currently we have, I think after today we'll be at 3 bill, but unless we get, like, really crazy drops directly, I'm not gonna be scrolling or gatching anything. Because again, like, I'm saving up for the new potential new equips to be released, so I want more value out of my resources. And at this point, there's no, like, bosses to clear other than the cheap Kentaurus and then Pianist, and I don't really care for that, you know what I mean? Yeah, I know there's definitely, like, a better spot to, like, go to, but I just like Gobies, man. Gobies are, like, the new Yetis for us. Hopefully the newts in Leafery, whenever that Dragon Canyon is released, hopefully that'll be, like, our new Gobies, because, like, I'm a GMS player as well, and I just really like lazy training or farming, you know what I mean? It's more sustainable, it's more enjoyable for me, at least. That was good, J-Legend. Equip, definitely want to focus on your sword. If you're going one hand and your shield, definitely get as much weapon attack as you possibly can, because pretty much on a hero, you get double the weapon attack from any source that you gain. I believe with combo attack, with the teaser, you get 1.25x weapon attack. No, 2.25. So you definitely want the most weapon attack as you possibly can get. And on top of that, you know, that's pretty much whatever you can find. Like I'm anticipating for the rest of the Leaf Free maps that we don't have currently, you're gonna need accuracy beyond 166. Because the highest level mob in Leaf Free requires 166 accuracy. And on this guy, we're not even like, I think the highest we can get with like accuracy potion is like 150. So we're not quite there yet. That's why, like, again, on our sword, I really wish that we had, like, a higher accuracy stat, but it is what it is. At least the scrolls went. I think it's time to NPC. And also, my pay-to-win rock expired. I don't think I'm gonna be buying another one. Not anytime soon. That's gonna be at Gobi's. Like, technically, we can weave in the Kentaurus. But I think I'm gonna be on GMS a little bit more. It's easier to rotate too with the back pets, Janice. Very hands-free. Yeah, but for me, I have my own goal for like having as low as dex stat or secondary stat as possible. I just find it extremely satisfying, so if I can avoid pumping dex points, I will. Even though with the new Maple Warrior, it doesn't really matter. But I really want to avoid seeing anything above 4 dex. It's just me. I never thought to like see the day where like strengthless warrior in classic world is actually a thing. They definitely need to retune the accuracy and like dex scaling. Because again, like I don't know why dex gives weapon defense and not strength. That makes 0 sense. But yeah, I mean, if you need accuracy, pump dex as you wish, but I like seeing as low of a secondary stat as we can get. I know my ass for Classic World is going to try to do the same, but given how the current formula was during the beta, or not even the beta, during the online test, like, yeah, I'm not too sure about that. Although we did try. I mean, we had pretty juice accuracy gear. We did try. It is possible. You just need 60s. It's not impossible, but at least early game, the funding, it's not quite there. It's still MapleStory. Yo, it's good, Anayur. Am I even saying your name right? Let me know, man. Maybe I'll just call you Yer. Yer. YHR. Yeah, how was the final day? Because I know we didn't join in on the Lift Harbor photo at the very end. Hopefully those meats and lemons served you well. Got your ass to level 40. Maybe. What level did you end off stopping at? But yeah, still pretty fun, man. I'm glad that we locked in our name and chat rings. That's what we needed. But we'll see what the turnaround is for the next set of updates for Classic World. I did see a screenshot saying that the release this year might not be on the radar. Like, I don't think it's going to be releasing this year, unfortunately. Based on the screenshot that I saw, but we'll see. If it ain't May, man, it might as well be next year at this point. That's all I'm gonna say. It ain't sometime in May. Which apparently, according to the testing phase, it looks pretty, looks pretty scuffed, I mean. I think, like, in terms of balancing, you can always do that. Because even GMS itself, like, it's never perfect. Like, the meta is always changing. And compared to, like, GMS, Classic World only has 4 branches, so to speak. So it shouldn't be that time-consuming to balance everything out compared to, like, 50-plus classes. Yeah, but I already missed the... I can already feel the jankiness in ChronoStory. But again, that's not Boutei's fault or ChronoStory itself. It's more of a platform issue here. Oh man, the feeling of like exploring, seeing a lot of people. It was bad, man. Oh, I didn't know you had a fighter too. Yeah, that's pretty good. I think a lot of people were experimenting with axe fighters. I didn't really see like too many. I didn't really get to see the bleed damage. But hopefully it was better than what people thought. Because I think it's good to have like weapon diversity. At least during the testing phase, the swords seems a lot better. At least for the accuracy issue. But I know like as 60 scrolls get more accessible, maybe the bots start clinking, who knows, like... I think it's possible to go dexless. As in, like, no more, like, you don't need excessive dex beyond the base that you need to wear your stuff. Boutei for Classic? I mean... I don't think Boutei would want to work for Nexon. Like, why bother when you can just, you know, be your own boss? At least for ChronoStory. But yeah, we have people like Boutei on their team for Team GMS. Damn, man. You know how, like... I'm not gonna say better, but you know how much improvement there would be? But yeah, Stance being a party buff, it's reinforcing buff story, or meal story. Should I check the major overall? I know we had a blue one. I kind of don't want to slam any more squirrels. You know what? Unless we see like a 25 or 24 major overall, I'm not gonna bother. Yeah, and the bleed damage too. Like, I wish I got to take a look at that, but it is what it is. Yo, D-Reasel, thanks for follow. D-Riz? Yeah, I just wish that, you know, they'll keep up the weapon diversity. Although for archers, there's not really much diversity. It's literally a bow and crossbow. But hoping they keep like blunt weapons unique with their stun mastery, stun chance, swords. Like, I didn't even notice that swords had a lower like weapon multiplier. So that definitely locked us into blunt weapon. Like, I'm still gonna go one hand, mace or whatever weapon is available plus shield. I do enjoy the block mechanic. It's so nice. Absolutely amazing. Although, you know, this is a trend from GMS, but hopefully they disclose the block rate chances. Because, like, if you hovered over the shield, it just tells you, oh, a chance to block hits. I'm like, okay, well, but what's the success rate? Well, I definitely feel like, you know, as you level up, and maybe, possibly, if you use, like, a higher level shield, you have a slightly higher block chance. Because, like, otherwise, like, what's the difference between using a shield between a bandit and a mage, right? Like, warrior should have some advantage. So I'm saying, man, like, for pages, like, come on, man. You block a hit, you heal for a certain amount, and or stun the monster. You know, something like that. And then, like, heroes, to compete with, like, the two-hand sword stuff, or two-handed weapons, you have, like, a small, like, attack buff or some sort. You know, so something like that. To be, like, competitive, because I believe back then everyone just, like, there wasn't really a benefit into using, you know, a sword and shield, or single-handed weapon and shield over two-hand. Because not only was it more expensive, like, it was just only a slightly better, given that you min-max your weapon and shield. Like, why would you bother going through all that when you could just use a two-hand and not spend as much? But yeah, it is what it is, man. Yo, Sweater, thanks for the sub. It is sweater weather right now. Oh my god. It's like, it's so gloomy outside. Hey, it works for me though. But yeah, I did fill out that feedback form. I mean, I thought it would be more extensive. But as soon as I finish my, like, compilation, I'll probably post into the closed suggestion feedback on the MapleStory Discord. But I'm really hoping that after a certain point, you know, if Classic World is not gonna be released in May, which I don't think it will at this point, like, hopefully we get some update. Because shortly after the online test ended, there was an equal note for GMS. And I'm pretty glad that he didn't mention anything about Classic World, because I think people, or GMS players that don't really care about Classic World, like, I think they'll be raising their pitchforks even higher. Because there's a lot of people saying, like, oh, fix your main game first, but can we say GMS is the main game? Technically, it was Classic World before it developed into the GMS now, into the MapleStory now, so I don't know about y'all, but I like both versions of MapleStory, so like, why can't we all just get along? I don't know, man. There's always some divide. Like, I appreciate, like, Classic World and Modern has its pros and cons. Like, the main positive for Modern is that it's very time efficient with dailies and weeklies. But you're lacking that social aspect, and that's where Classic World comes in. At least for now. Who knows how it will be down the line, but at least during the online test, like, that's pretty much what MapleStory should be, without, like, you know, the bots and clankers. Like, I'm pretty sure some people clanked, but not to the point where, like, bots will be farming on thousands of accounts and selling stuff in the free market. Or should we say auction house? But I don't see them implementing the auction house system in Classic World. It just kind of defeats the purpose of having a free market. But yeah, I mean, what can you do, man? Alright, we need to use another buff. So that 15, we got 28 eggs, not bad. 2 Chaos Crystals. So again, unless we get something really juicy, I'm not gonna be scrolling anything, man. Like, that teaser video really hyped me up. Although, I don't think we're gonna get new equipment pieces with Forest Job. It'll just be the classes. So whenever Forest Job is released, plus, you know, whatever content we're missing currently, which I think it's the Dragon Canyon, the rest will leave free. I think probably by then we can expect to see new equipment, but we'll just be saving up because again, like at this moment, there's nothing to clear, right? So I don't mind just saving for a rainy day. You know, it's not too bad. That way we can have 1 Giga Scroll session where we zero out. They say the saying goes from 0 to hero. We're gonna be a hero, going back to 0. Gonna be complete opposite, man. But then again, this is our meal, and so far with this current gear, it's eaten pretty good, so I don't think it'll be struggling anytime soon. Although, I would try to scroll in the overall. This is... Oh! Wait, 31 stat? Okay, we can probably try slamming something on that. I think the max overall stat is 41. A mix between FMs and standing outside. Yeah, but I do see why people don't like the in-town shops, because it does look too cluttered. A simple solution for that is like have a trade button similar to ChronoStory, although that'll feel like more private server-ish. Or the more feasible solution, just have more like have FM entrances in every town. It doesn't matter how big or small or popular the town is, just have that entrance available. Or maybe consider adding like return scrolls to the FM. So that way there's like a small money sink. Nothing too substantial, but just for convenience. And then when you leave the FM, you'll be sent back to wherever you use the scroll. Something like that. Because as much as people don't like the iframes, like how it's so brief, I think it's a pretty good system to... I'm not really too sure how, you know, the scripting and macroing and all the bots and clankers will get around that, but it does contribute to pot burn. So like if you're not playing at least somewhat optimally, you will be burning pots in some shape or form. But getting like mechanics that are implemented to address the bot problem always hurts the average player. And we were playing Warrior too, so our spacing was pretty on point. Can you imagine if we were playing a range class? Like, we should not be getting hit by any like touch damage unless, you know, you're hunting lupins where they throw that damn banana at your face. I love that animation, man. That's my favorite, like, monster animation in the game. The attacking animation. Where it takes a bite out of the banana and throws a peel at you. I love that. Also pain in the ass. Yeah, whatever you use to deter clankers, like, it always hurts the average player that doesn't clank, so... You can never win, man. I really think the online testing phase is like the peak of Classic World. And the second runner-up would be like the first week of Classic World release. And then we'll go from there. I'm not even too sure if we should be using Drake's Blood, but... Whatever, man. Like, our gains are pretty good for being slightly AFK. We clear a lot slower than Ice Lining because we do less damage, and I believe Shot only hits 6. Yep, only 6. but soon. With 4th job, you pop in rage. You're spamming, what was it, coma without a cooldown. That's crazy. I believe coma hits 10, right? Oh, 8 monsters. Never mind. I thought it was 10. Either way, still buff. But yeah, the town system with the FMs, I don't know, man. At first, I liked it, but then... See in actual practice, I think that's why it's so important to, like, put theory into practice, because in practice, it does look a little bit clunky. I do like how, like, you can set up your shop anywhere. Like, it's funny how, like, you can compete with the NPC vendors, like, at the pot stores or armor stores. You can set up your store within the store. Like, it reminds me of, like, in real life, right? Like, if you go to, like, a gas station or something, you'll see, like, street vendors outside. That's what that reminds me of. But, like, you don't have, like, 5-10 food vendors in front of a business, you know? There's just, like, 1 or 2 people. 1 or 2 stations. But yeah, hopefully we can get something about Classic World. Again, I don't expect the official release, but, like, hopefully, like, something similar to an Equal Note, but for the Classic World side. During their anniversary, which people are saying it's May 11th, so... That's like 2 weeks from now, right? More or less 2 weeks. So yeah, we'll see, man. And not to mention 4th job, yo, man. Although I didn't really pay attention to the blocks, the Guardian skill. It seemed to me it has a cooldown, so it looked like it's an active skill, but I can see it also being a passive. Although warriors don't really have that much MP, so minus 100 MP per block off of the 2-second cooldown. Damn. I mean, I guess at this point you don't really care for pots. But jeez, man. But yeah, Dark Impale's horizontal range needs to be slightly adjusted. I wouldn't say nerfed, but I think, like, using a longer weapon, you should have some reach. That's just standard, in my opinion. I really like the Rush Plus, Hyper Body Plus. Although I think Hyper Body combined gives, like, what, plus 90%? How much base bonuses does Hyper Body 2nd job give? Because 4th job, it's plus 40%. Is it still 60 base? So it would be double your HP and MP? Yup, it's gonna be buff story all over again, but... it already has been. I'm gonna say this off of a whim, but, like... given how, like... you can go above 200, I'm pretty sure there'll be, like, some, like... something beyond 4th job. Whatever it's... like, however it's reskinned, like, there's just no way at this point. I don't know what you would call it, but... definitely, among all the warriors, Dark Knight does have, like, the post-Big Bang feeling. Which, again, like, I don't really mind early Big Bang. I think that's still classic. What makes it not classic anymore is with the whole, like... the cube system. I kind of want to say that chaos scrolling shouldn't be... Well, it should never been a part. It shouldn't have been a thing back then, but it was. It's similar to white scrolls. Or like, maybe just choose one or the other, but don't have both of them. But between white scrolls and chaos scrolls, I think chaos scrolls are more viable if it had a boom chance. Because with chaos scrolls and white scrolls, you can pretty much just spam one item until you get the results you want. But then again, like the item that gets to like 0 base moment attack, like a face stomper, it's pretty much useless. Yeah, I think early Big Bang is fair. So I was laughing when I watched the teaser for the first time during my trip. I'm like, oh, there ain't no way, man. Did he really put Dark and Pale into the kit? Oh, that was so funny. Hey, man, Boutei's an innovator. At some point, you gotta lead the way, man. If you don't do any of these changes, like, what's the difference between you and a private server? Because again, like, I have been looking at private servers and what they offer. I'm like, they all seem pretty similar at this point. So that's one thing I appreciate about ChronoStory and Classic World is that you're combining both elements at that point. Like, you know what's so funny? Like, playing Classic World actually got me interested in old school RuneScape. Like, yesterday I got home and was like, man, I'm so drained. Like, Classic World, I was so excited to play, but like, after it ended, I'm like, oh man, like, ChronoStory wasn't that hype compared to Classic World. So I was like, you know what, man? I'm just gonna rest up. And lo and behold, YouTube recommended me this old school RuneScape beginner's guide. I'm like, oh damn, I might as well put this up. So who knows? I might dabble with old school RuneScape just a little bit. You know, play blind. Well, based on the information from that guide, I might like follow that guide from what I remember. But then if I don't remember anything else from that guide, I'll just be completely blind. So we'll see. I probably might mess around with that. Because again, like similar to pre-Big Bang Maple, I also played RuneScape. But, you know, since I played MapleStory first, I was more attached to MapleStory, not RuneScape. Because I was playing RuneScape, like, man, this is a MapleStory. I kept comparing everything in the game to MapleStory. But I think in this day and age, we can, like, separate that. I think it'll be fine. Like, just playing Classic World just triggered, like, so much nostalgia. But I think, other than that, I think another game I grew up playing was, if it wasn't MapleStory and RuneScape, I think it would also be Grand Chase. I was looking at it like 2 weeks ago on Steam. It doesn't really seem like what I remember, but I'm surprised I was still around. But I do want to like revisit it, like these old games. Old PC games at least. 21 mage overall. Alright, I guess I'll slam some 30s on this overall. I'm still kind of curious. Like, in terms of potential, I think overalls have better scaling, but the problem is, like, you're forced into 30s. And you already know how that goes, man. Guess we can also redeem our eggs. It's perfect timing. Alright, let's go ahead and do that. Our first 30% scroll back after like 2 weeks of no ChronoStory. We'll see if the game is generous and let me pass at least 2 in a row. Alright, here we go. How many eggs do we have? We should have like 40, right? 46, not bad. Alright, come on. If no Easter charm, surely the baby chick buffs. Oh, we got the charm! Damn! Just like that. Easy. Game is like, welcome back, buddy. I'm like, thank you. Don't mind if we do. Hey, wait, what? Well, it's only 1 weapon attack? Hey, man. On heroes, that's 2. Hey, not too bad. So now we have better odds, right? We have slightly better odds for the cash weapon. Is that how it worked? Because we shouldn't be able to get another medal. Alright, let me store this. Or NPC. Let's try this overall. Because overall, I believe it has some vouchers from the Iceland. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we're at 445 gas tickets. Again, like, I have nothing to use them on. Like, I don't really care to roll down a mega sector. Because, like, since we saw the changes to Maple Warrior, it doesn't really matter if we go strength or dex anyway. So again, we're gonna hold. But at least for this overall, let me pop a 30. Let's go for, It doesn't really matter, right? But I don't want to see any points pump into dex, so let's just scroll for dex. Hopefully the game is a little bit more nice to us. Can we just see 2 30s back to back, please? If not, I'm quitting and I'm waiting for Classic World. Alright, I'm quitting. Just kidding. At least we got the medal, man. Not bad. 2 point something% for it. I feel a little bit stronger. I think we gained like almost 100 range for that 1 weapon attack. 13.9 with Drake's Blood. So yeah, I know in GMS I was doing some bosses. I still need to do Limbo. Limbo and Cowling. Because if I do Limbo, I'll have my second Limbo piece. I'll get another glove. Like my first glove blew up. But yeah, maybe we can get one more attempt in. Not only are we saving the vouchers and stuff like that, we've been saving the Chaos Crystals too. Like again, I don't want to reroll anything. There's no point. I'm just over the glove. Oh wait, the meta's also laboring? Oh, what? Damn, wait a minute. It is. Wow. It's 2 in 1. I didn't know that. I thought this whole time the labor ring was separate. Yo, what's good, Sparta? Dude, we're sad about the Classic World. Like, no more testing. It's quite unfortunate I couldn't play on the last day, but... what can you do, man? I heard it was pretty dead until people showed up for the picture. I guess at that point people were just over it. But I really feel like the first day or 2 of the testing phase, that was the golden age. Yeah, this is the ChronoStory. This is what we were playing before Classic World. But I'm not gonna be playing ChronoStory too much again. Like earlier, I was yapping about Oscar RuneScape. I might look into that. I remember like a few years ago, I was playing RuneScape 3, the more modern RuneScape. But playing Classic World just like triggered some nostalgia, so I want to revisit the games I played before. Definitely old school RuneScape, and then maybe Grand Chase as well. I would add Dragon Nest to that list, but that was more like high school. So I don't think I would add that into the mix, but definitely old school RuneScape. Yeah, there's no way because we're underwater. The swimming mechanic. Now, the swimming mechanic is not really like a one-to-one of how it was back then, but it's pretty close. Like, apparently the swimming mechanic too, like, this is also something you have to appreciate for what Boutei does. Is that he had to make this own, like, interaction. So you have to, like, replicate how it was before. Yeah, but now that I'm thinking about it, there is no, like, swimming mechanic in Classic World, huh? Because we only had Vic Island and Sleepywood. Alright, we had the baby chick buff, so we should be popping this. I think we'll go for another hour. But yeah, hopefully the final days of Classic World was pretty cool. Like I said, like every time I open up the Nexon launcher, I just see Classic World there, but it says not available. So hopefully I don't lose that like game tab in the Nexon launcher. I don't know about y'all, but it seems like they can make a separate client, at least for the Nexon launcher. For Classic World, they don't have to put it into GMS. Although it kind of worked because a lot of people did try out Modern. You know, that was Nexon's foot in the door technique where like, okay, well, you gotta download the Nexon launcher. Next to MapleStory Classic World, there's the more modern version. But I feel like a lot of people didn't really like it because they log in, it was a ghost town. I think there's a Reddit post too where it's like, there's a Reddit post where like they messed up on like, oh, like do you want to boost your character to 30 or like did you want to go through the tutorial? And they regretted not going or not getting the instant boost because they had like a hour and a half of like cutscenes getting to level 30. So yeah, coming from Classic World, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't appreciate that boost. Like, I'm not gonna go down the rabbit hole and say levels mean more in Classic World compared to GMS, because after a certain point, levels kind of do matter. Although it's more attainable, or easier, so to speak, to achieve compared to Classic World, but whether you're getting to level 30 in Classic World or like 260 or 270 without any events in Modern, it's pretty relative. It doesn't really matter. Like, you have bonobos grinding out 304 or squids for hours on end. The same thing, man. Same concept at least. But yeah, I already missed Classic World. That's never gonna be our main. Cause I'll still log on to GMS like boss and whatnot. I still appreciate my character's progression in Kronos, but you're still hoping Classic World will be more well-tuned, and hopefully we won't have as much of an issue playing a warrior again, because I'm still sticking to what I said, man. I'm gonna make another paladin. And this time we know what to do. But if anything, like I know I said before, like it's better to have like a mage in your pocket for a fourth job FMA potentially. I think I'm gonna lean towards making an archer, probably a crossbowman, because I always believe crossbowmen were the better archer. Like marksmen were the better archers than bowmasters. So even though it won't be as OP with potential FMAs and fourth job compared to a mage, I don't know what it is, man. I just like playing classes that are bad on paper. I don't like playing meta stuff. Or if we do play meta, it's because it's for different reasons, you know? It's not because it's good. Yeah, I'd probably skip the mage for now. I mean, eventually we would make a mage in Classic World. I think I still stand by that statement where like you should have a mage in your pocket, but I think we'll change up the order. We'll do a archer next. Definitely Pally would be the main. You already know, man. Similar to ChronoStory, I say Pally's the main, but that freaking that future crossbowman is gonna be eating on his gear somehow. Cause mules never struggle, man. Yeah, it's not just pages too. Like it's all warriors in general. Although I think among all of them, I think spearmans were in the better position compared to fighters and pages because of the final attack. The healing chance is it's pretty good. Not to mention you have range as well, so you should not be taking as much touch damage at least. Yeah, but regardless, man, I'm looking forward to it. But there was a good point mentioned about like MapleCon for this year, because at least they've been kind of consistent, even though the quality of these events may not be what people are expecting. They have been consistent doing MapleCon. 20 stat overall? Okay, yeah, nah. The mage has to be like 24, 25, maybe 23. Otherwise, I'm not gonna bother. Oh my god, I don't know how to say that name, but Hermes, thanks for the sub on YouTube. Yeah, the healing from the final attack is pretty good. I mean, it was fun using Threaten on the last day, but like, it wasn't even worth it at that point. Because we were at Florina Beach, right? Like, unless you land the stun chance, you're just burning way too many pots. And the reduced iframe definitely doesn't help with tanking monsters, but at that point, you either suck it up and play the game, or just don't play the game at all. Yeah, we'll go for another 40 minutes or so. Not bad, we got the Easter charm. I wasn't expecting to get the medal. I could've I don't know. I thought the label ring, or the label cosmetic would be a separate item, but I guess it's 2 in 1. And not bad. It's free to weapon attack for us. It's cool how we can also transfer these items around as well. But yeah, still pretty unfortunate. I mean, again, like I really feel like they should add some bonus to blocking hits. But I do like the clank mechanic, so I'm still gonna go one hand plus shield. I think it's pretty fun. Like on top of stunning mobs with your weapon, imagine if you can stun them with your blocks. That'd be pretty sick. Like maybe they could add it to like they could add that bonus effect to power guard. I think that makes more sense. I'm trying to think, do like White Knights get like a shield mastery in third job? At least for fighters, there's a shield mastery for their third job. So if they do have a shield mastery in third job, they can potentially put it there as well. Like I think that's appropriate. I guess another thing that threw me off guard too is like seeing Heaven's Hammer not having a cooldown, because I believe back in the day it had a cooldown, right? So not only did it have a new animation in the teaser video, it has 0 cooldown. But it's still pretty nice to have these new changes. I think it's always a positive. I don't know, let me actually take another look at that poll. Let's see. The last time I checked, I believe the Dark Impale change was still leading. Oh, it still is. I think for it to be kind of fair, is like we need to see how like the proposed improvements to the dragon skills will be. Like, is it going to be glowing purple instead of blue, or like what's up? Is it going to have a new animation? Probably not. Get 2 more drop buffs. Okay. Yeah, we couldn't go through all of them. Wait. Let me see. Yeah, we should be able to get through all of them. It's like, I'm not too sure how they're gonna... How Boui's gonna do the, dragon skill improvements. Because, like, at this point, I can only think of 2 things, right? The first thing is an aesthetic change. Change the color. Wow. And the second change would be, like, adjusted hitboxes, but... I don't know, man. At that point, you might as well just add Dark Impale. Like, adjust the numbers if you have to. Because again, like, I think it's bad game design to be using the same skill you unlocked previously into your so-called new job advancement. And even at this point, like, a universal problem for Classic World in general is, like, the whole passive story situation. Like, more often than not, once you unlock second, third job, fourth job, you're maxing a new passive. Or like you're putting points into that passive early on. Like having 100 seconds on weapon booster at level 1 is a huge game changer. I believe back then each level was 10 seconds, right? Pretty gross. Although a change that they can consider for Classic World is like, at least in ChronoStory, you get to level up your booster to get like faster attack speed. I believe at level 1, you're already given like, you know, basically double attack speed for your weapon. And at that point, you're only leveling up the skill for more buff duration. But, you know, there's still a similar problem where, like, you're using your points towards, like, a buff or something. And your actual new skill. Yeah, it's pretty tough, man. Being a designer and balancing out everything. Especially, like, if you don't have, like, another, like, similar metric to compare your adjustments to. It's pretty rough. But I still think Dark and Pale should be included. Or like, if it's not Dark and Pale, you're like... You're probably gonna be reskilling some other skill, or like making a completely new skill. So at the end of the day, it's either Dark and Pale or something that wasn't even in Classic, right? And well, maybe what people want is like Crusher Plus or something. You know what, man? At that point, you might as well just have a new skill. Cause like the whole like plus skills, like Rush Plus, Hyper Body Plus reminds you of like 5th job stuff, or like Hexa stuff, and 6th job in GMS. I think it's more specifically for 6th job, where like you're just enhancing what you previously unlocked. You're just not calling it 6th job or 5th job. So I don't know, but at least from what I've seen, definitely gotta tweak the numbers, especially for Hero, man. Hero scaling is absolutely bonkers. Reduce the horizontal range for Dark and Pale just by a little bit. Again, I feel like they should have a little bit more range compared to the other two warriors. But definitely increase the... Definitely have Dragon or Dark Knights, like, have some range. I think that's okay. And what else did I say? Which warrior was it? Something about duration? Oh! The Sacrificial Pact, right? The reviving passive? I think the cooldown needs to be adjusted as well. It'll only be adjusted for bosses, because I don't think you're dying from grinding at this point. Like, if you hit 4th job, I highly doubt you're dying to your mobs. At least in the bossing sense, you definitely gotta consider the attack threshold when you're in that state, or stasis. Dark's gonna eat? No, I think Paladins are eating. Although similar to the problem with like job advancing, they're just having a new like passive. In this case, the avatar buff. Like Heaven's Hammer is not gonna be. I guess there's Blast too. Nah, never mind. Yeah, something. Yeah, we'll see if Booty goes through with the Dark and Pale. Personally, I think it's a good change. Like, if it's not the Dragon skills in third job, it's definitely Dark and Pale. That's the next iconic skills. Like, it's not even Sacrifice. Like, Sacrifice being an active attacking skill was... It was a pretty bad skill, man. No, I believe you have to hit 0 HP and then it'll auto heal to 49%, right? So that way you're within Berserk range. The way GMS has it, like, I think there's like 2 modes to it, and the duration cooldown depending on which mode you're in. But like, there's like certain requirements. Like, if you don't hit the boss a certain amount of times, or if you don't clear mobs, an X amount of mobs, then you're gonna die. Essentially, you have a 10-second iframe every 5 minutes during boss fights, so... Depending on how the bosses, if they have like new mechanics or not. That's basically a boss bind in GMS. 10 seconds of just pure damage, ignoring all mechanics. And I'm pretty sure boss binds or anything similar to that in old school Maple, that's pretty much overkill. Oops, let me use another drop buff. Yeah, all the skills. I think Booty said something about that. Like, you'll just unlock everything, but you gotta do quests to, like, level up the mastery or something. Something about, like, exchanging something to an NPC. I don't know. I was snooping around the Discord earlier this morning. But I feel like you shouldn't remove all the skill quests. But it's a pain in the ass to do them as soon as you advance. So I'm kind of on board with the idea where you unlock everything so you know, like you have this skill for sure. But if you want to increase the mastery level, then you gotta do the appropriate skill quest. So that way you keep the whole like skill quest system that was originally placed before, but it's not given to you for free. And that also limits the need for mastery books. Because after a certain point, they just generalize the mastery books anyway. Like you would buy like a red book or 30 book, a black book for level 30 from the pot shops. At that point, books didn't really matter anyway. So I think that's a good balance, honestly. Like, just give everyone the skills, because, like, back then, if you didn't know, like, your job had, like, for example, hamstring shot or triple throw, then, like, you were pretty much in the dark. So like without previous information about like these new skills, then you would just assume whatever skill you had when you job advanced, that's all you got. Level 10, yeah. So it's similar to like the... I think the best comparison I can do is Bishop's Bahamut quest. Like, you'll get level 10 dragon, or the bare minimum level, and then you gotta do that repeatable quest. Actually, no, I think you gotta do a quest to unlock it first. And then you're able to expand the level. That's a good balance, you know. Because I remember in Artale, we had to unlock the bird, Frostprey. Like if I wasn't like, if I didn't have prior game knowledge, I would have thought the third job bird was all I got. Like the eagle. Like, not to bring in GMS, but Modern is a good example. Like, as much as people don't like the changes on paper, like, whatever they did was for good reason. Decent skills eliminated the need for buffs or MapleStory. Unlocking all skills as soon as the job advanced meant that you were never missing a skill. So you didn't need to have prior game knowledge to know. Although the QB system was pretty garbage, not gonna lie, but... No, subtle changes like that. I mean, I don't know, I guess you could kind of keep master books in the game, but... it most likely would have to steer away from being locked behind a boss drop. It's definitely a new approach since there's no trading. So like, how, like... you told me like you gotta farm Zack for how long for your triple throw 10 book? Like, you would be spamming these bosses the same way you're spamming like Pianist for the Dark Pearl Ring or the Kentaurus boss for the belt. And then you also gotta be wary that, like, even though the opinion is popular, it doesn't mean that it's right. I said this before, but a good example is not introducing pirates into the game. Like, why wouldn't you introduce one of the pirates in the game? At least for Classic World. Because you're going to be hard stuck on content. And as much as I hate to say it, but if you really want just vanilla, you go play a pirate server, man. It's definitely not Classic World. Because, like, you put this into context, right? If Boutei didn't make any changes to ChronoStory, why would you play ChronoStory over a more stable, fluid private server? Like, why would you put up with the jankiness? You know, that's for an average player who doesn't care about, like, making content. Like, there's no reason for you to pick MapleStory Worlds over these private servers, you know? Okay, we got a blue overall. Ooh, it's missing Dex. This could have been a juicer as well. Holy crap. I don't know. That's how I see it. Because at the end of the day, man, like, for example, Boutei, as much as he goes out of his way to develop ChronoStory, in some way he should be compensated. So, for his time, like, no one wants to work for free, man. Like, I'm not too sure how limited the cash shop can be in terms of, like, adding more items, but hopefully he expands the catalog soon. I believe he said something about, like, having seasonal items, which is okay. Like, for example, the Easter stuff. But one thing we learned about Nexon is that you had the same cash shop for years on end, never updated. The only thing you pretty much updated with is, like, loot boxes. And I'm pretty sure Boutei wouldn't import that, the whole gacha system in. I mean, you could if you wanted to, man. But, like, if you're not gonna do that, then at least have more, like, accessible items that you can always buy. But yeah, we still have the Pirates first job teaser, the Mages one. Honestly, man, I kind of even don't want to be looking at Night Lords. It's like, I can't really imagine another revamp to their kit other than Shadow Stars. How did Artale change it? Like, they had, like, crit damage or something? Like, I would imagine that's another passive change. Let me see. GMS skills, Dark Flare, Summon? That could be a possibility, although, like, unlike Dark and Pale, it doesn't really make sense for Night Lords. What other skills did he get? They have a debuff skill, the Frailty Curse or something. Yo, it's good to see Mac. Yeah, I don't really know. Like, honestly, I'm more excited for Shadowers, if anything. Hopefully the Boomerang step is, lag-free. And also the changes to Assassinate. Because, like, if you're gonna keep the whole Dark Side mechanic, then at least you can do is, like, if you press Assassinate, your character is automatically uses Dark Side. At least for Shadowers, well, we're just thinking about the identity of Shadowers. I don't know, Dark Side Plus or Advanced Dark Side was also a thing. Where like you're in Dark Side, but you have a chance to stay in Dark Side. And not to mention, if you attack in Dark Side, you deal a little bit more damage. It's also a passive skill too, so like it's not a active or anything. You just attack normally, and it would trigger. Yeah, it would just trigger naturally. Possibly that could be appropriate. But yeah, it's kind of wild where like, if you use Darkside Classic World, if the person was in your party, they would vanish from your minimap, and you couldn't see their character at all. I know there's like a poll that's currently ongoing in the unofficial Classic World Discord. I kind of like that, like vanishing from thin air, but like the fact that they're untraceable is kind of a concern. So what I would propose is actually keep that mechanic in, but at least keep the red dot visible on the minimap, so you know somewhere, so that you know someone is there. You just can't see the character visually, you know? And like you're still able to right click on them. I think that's a good balance. Because I would assume most people play with the minimap on anyway. I believe in this case, during the task, where like if they use Dark Side, you wouldn't even see a red dot in the minimap. I think that'd be like a balance, you know, between the two. Because like I remember when I first saw it, I'm like, yo, that's sick. I wasn't even thinking about the stocking problems, but I'm pretty sure the stocking problem will be applied to you if you have a female avatar, unfortunately. Even the notion is like girl stands for guy in real life. I don't know, man. Some people get excited over pixels. That's the funny part. But yeah, just keep the whole invisibility, but leave the red dot active in the minimap. I think that's a good balance. But like every so often, you can see their character flashing. You know, not too frequently, but maybe like every 15 seconds or something. Their character will be visible for a brief moment and then disappear again. Yo, Tuka, how you been? Did you play Classic World? Not to mention, did you stream Classic World? I know you mentioned something about like, oh, when Classic World was released. But yeah, I'm doing the lazy way. I'm just staying here. I'm farming as if I'm a mage. Like honestly, as a warrior, the fact that I'm able to do this is pretty insane. Well, my Ice Lightning and Buccaneer is 150, so I want to get this guy to at least 150. So we can max a theoretical 3 fourth job skills whenever they drop. Yeah, let me know, if you need any, like, setup. I can help you with the setup for sure. I spend way too much time on this freaking setup. But at this point, if it's... The Classic World's not going to be released next month, which I don't think it will be at this point. For sure by next year, right? I hope you've been doing well. But, you know, playing Classic World, like, they definitely gotta use a lot of tuning. I'm kind of wondering what feedback they used, if any, from the other testing sessions, whether it's from MapleCon or the cafe event. Like, it feels like they didn't really do anything with that. But there is a difference between, like, starting at level 50 versus, like, leveling up from level 1. In this case, level 10. It's not really the same where you get to earn for your stuff and actually play the class versus, oh, everything's given to you. But yeah, it's just, you know, minor stuff like that you gotta account for. Like, we were playing a page because I'm gonna play Paladin on release. Out of all the warriors, they seemed the most undertuned or not really too appealing to the average player. I definitely think Spearmans were the strongest or the better warrior. Followed by Fighter and then Page. Page is definitely the last. Like, it's S tier for Spearmen, A for Fighters, and then Page isn't even on the damn tier list. Not even F. It's not even F tier, man. That's how bad it was. What was it that Boutei did to Holy Arrow? Like, after a certain point, like, if you level up I think Shining Ray, right? To a certain level, it would adjust the Holy Arrow skill, right? They could probably do something for that, so like, it evolves older skills, and keeps it relevant until you reach 3rd job or 4th job. Spear Fighter Sin? I mean, you're definitely playing you're definitely considering the better warriors at this point. $50 on Page? That's crazy. Was this on the last day? This is max mastery. I would guess the red farming wouldn't be that bad. But percent values early on sucks ass. So ideally, like, early on, like, Iron Body and Threaten, like, they'll do like flat ratios, and then maybe if your character hits a certain level, they'll switch to percent values accordingly. Or maybe, like, it adapts based on the level of the mob you're hitting. It's like, for the sake of this topic, like, if you're hitting stuff under level 50, it's like a flat bonus, right? Or like flat percent reductions or debuffs. And then as you're hitting stuff over level 50, then it scales to percent, where higher values scale way better with percent. AoE taunt. Threaten does give an AoE taunt. It does have like a rear hitbox slightly. I would imagine it's not as generous, but it does have some AoE. It's still there. I think it has more horizontal range in front of your character, but behind your character, it's not as generous. I don't know how threatened it is in ChronoStory. It will also help too if it did some damage, but at this moment it doesn't really do anything in Classic World. Yo, it's good, Donnie. Yeah, but even then, like, I wasn't able to be at Sturgis because, like, there's so many people flocking to that map. I mean, I'd be down to try it, but the fact that it was so crowded, like, yeah, good luck, man. Like, I'm not competing with the range classes. But yeah, if I had to pick one class to really cheese the beta, I mean beta, the online test, I'd probably pick Ice Lining. Either Ice Lining or some Sin. Maybe the actual Sin, not a Sin Dit. %50 damage is still better than 0, man. It'd just be nice to have some, like, scaling. Because, for example, I believe Iron Body gave you, like, a flat amount of, like, defense, right? That actually did something. 2 touch damage. I mean, I have pretty much the whole journey as a page, so hopefully they see how bad it is in practice. I also did see that. It was only for a brief moment, but like when I was in Forgotten Hollow on the page, I did see a Sin spam lucky, not Lucky 7, but Drain. I saw a deal like 1.7k crit. I'm like, what? 1.2k? Like, wow, what is that damage, bro? So, you know what? The mage story. Sins never lose. But yeah, I'm glad that we went with the warrior because now we know, like, if there's no changes to warrior, that means people are not going to be playing a lot of warriors, so that means more cheaper scrolls for us, hopefully. Because I think the entire time, at least when we were window shopping, I saw only one blunt hand weapon scroll. So like at that point, it didn't really even make any sense, man, but... No, we did it for our own, like... I guess learning curve, because we know what to do. Where to go. What we're getting ourselves into. I'm still was very shocked that they nerfed Power Strike damage by 40%. Slash Blast by 20%, I'm like, why? Like, considering the inconvenience fee for being up close to the monster, the least you can do is make us hit, at least let warriors hit a little bit harder, you know? Like, before we walk up to the mob, like, I'm pretty sure range classes can hit the monster like 2 or 3 times before we actually get in front of the mob, you know? But it's all good. I mean, we're aware of what we're getting ourselves into, so I would still play a page regardless if there's any meaningful changes or not. I'm still down for it. It doesn't really change my mind. Although for a future second character, I think I'd be more inclined to go Archer. More specifically, a crossbowman. Because like apparently archers were bad too. Like I saw the hitbox for arrow bomb. It was complete garbage. So, but we'll make a mage eventually. But I'm pretty sure I would rather do archer, to see what their changes are. Because I really like the first job skill where like if you crit, you had a chance to like apply a slow debuff. That seems pretty good. Because at least for like marksman, the path of a marksman, you would reset and max out that slowing skill and just use iron arrow. Because I'm pretty sure at that point you don't use your other first job skills. Then like if you play warrior, like I'm pretty sure you know how to space, right? So it shouldn't be that bad. But don't get me wrong, like they definitely need to adjust some values. Like, don't get me wrong. Dark and Pale, yeah, man. I was laughing when I saw Dark and Pale. Like, there's no way he had Dark and Pale. Apparently, Booty did. At least conceptually. Let's see if it makes it through the live patch, so to speak, but... Like, regardless if you like Dark and Pale or not, like, if you're really voting for, like, a revamped version of the Dragon skills in third job, either way, it's gonna be a new skill. Like, other than coloring the blue animations to purple, like, how else are you gonna expand on the Dragon skills? Like, you're most likely gonna have to make a new animation for it, right? So it's basically Dark and Pale in disguise. You're just selling it as, oh, it's just a... It's an enhanced version of Fury or Thruster, or whatever it's called. Crusher. But you're not calling it Dark and Pale. I'm like, come on, man. Because, like, you would probably have to adjust for both Dragon skills, right? Like, Crusher and Fury, like, you're gonna have to make 2 new skills. Whereas Impale pretty much does the same thing. Like, if you ask me, I'm pretty sure Impale was made in mind to balance between Crusher and Fury, right? Fourth job. I have a timer on screen. That's just my guesstimate. Like, it should be released before then. I think I set it for June 16th at 5 p.m. Pacific time. But that's not official or anything. That's just based on like when he posted the poll, when Booty posted the poll. Based on whatever time frame he said, plus, you know, some extra time if he needs it. Oh no, it's better pacing. This is better pacing than freaking Classic Roll, I'll tell you that. Whole ass team versus one man. Or should we say one god? It was good, Corey. Wait, do we hit harder now? We hit 14 Ks with Shout? What the hell? Damn. Must be our new medal that we just got. Yup. Battleship? I think that's pretty easy to adjust. Just buff the HP. And like, this use, like... Can it climb up and down stuff? Is there like a damage difference when you're in the ship or not? It's like taking damage. how much mobility you gain or lose being in the battleship. Because like Corsairs do everything, man. They train like a mage, well, fire poison at least. Good single target. Don't really rely on buffs compared to other classes. It's just a bonus for them. The best mobility in the game, hands down. Better than flash jump. They do it all, man. But I don't even know what's gonna be the next teaser. Like, is it gonna be mages next? I would assume it would be mages next because I'm pretty sure a lot of people are curious about the FMAs. Paralyzed, chain lightning, you know, things like that. Not to mention the summons too. Because there was a poll, like, should the summons be elemental? Like, more fitting for the element of the mage you're playing? So I would assume it would probably be mages next. And if I had to guess, man, it's probably going to be... Oh, it's warriors already. Warriors, mages, thieves, archers, and then pirates. In that order. I'm pretty sure everyone's looking forward to Sins, especially, and Els. At least for archers, like, will they get a walking hurricane or not? For bowmasters, and then pirates, man, like, Bro's on the bottom of the ladder, man. So I wouldn't be surprised if pirates are last. Man, what can we say? You gotta save the best for last anyway. Let me see. Yeah, we have one. Oh wait, we have no more baby chicks? Alright, I guess we're done. Like, I just want to pop in today. You know, just check in with everyone. But if you guys haven't seen my announcement, we're not gonna have a schedule anymore. It's probably due to the fact that we hit our sub goal on YouTube. But mostly because, like, I don't know. Like, after playing Classic World, I do want to, like, play old school RuneScape and stuff like that. Live out my inner child somewhere. Yeah, no more schedule. At least until Classic World, then we'll figure it out. That's probably not till next year, though. Alright, 57X. Oh, it does update. Wait. The cash shop equip is still fixed. I thought you had a better chance to get. Like, since you don't get the medal anymore. I believe that was Boutei said before, right? Visual glitch, they say. Anyway. Well, watch this hit. Damn. Yeah, I played RuneScape a little bit growing up. I was more focused on MapleStory. Alright, hold on. Let me get my totals. So now we're at... So we're almost at 3 bill total. Alright, y'all. That's it. Hope y'all have a good rest of your day. Horse job soon.